And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma on a beautiful Southern California morning with some great people here all the way from Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Bob Kantor and Charmel. We're going to be having some fun, talking some fishing here up in a beautiful place in the world. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we engineered the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, available with a ProPower onboard generator and a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Come in now for a huge selection of vehicles like the 2022 Ford F-150 for 1.9% APR for 60 months. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 1.9% APR financing for 60 months at $17.48 per month, per thousand financed, regardless of down payment. Residency restrictions apply. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 4/3/2023. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
For quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com.
You've heard all about it. You know the anglers catching fish have it, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Today is going to be one of those days that I like so much, talking about, without question, the coolest off-the-grid place you can ever go fishing.
No question.
This is it. This is a very fun show.
The ultimate paradise for fishermen,
period, and
adventurers and anybody else.
Wildlife enthusiasts, everything.
Loves to be outdoors. Good morning, Bob and Charmel.
Hey, guys.
Good morning, Pete.
Katmai Lodge, man. I mean, it's just like the thought of Katmai. I wear my Katmai hat all the time, sitting over there, and I just, every time I look at that hat, I go, man, I can't wait to go back. It's just that kind of place, and I've been there a lot, and it just seems like it gets under your skin, right, Bob? That's why you bought it.
Oh, absolutely, and also, too, it's this time of year where we start winding it up.
Yeah. Right.
You know, the shows start coming out, the bookings start coming in, we start ordering, supplies, which is a huge factor of getting the lodge, because everything has to get there before the fishermen show up.
Yeah, so you start ordering right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, we start loading up 2 containers up in Seattle. So everything gets put in here, whatever I can buy locally here in Southern California, because pricing is actually better down here. And we load it up, and then we send the trucks up, and then up in Seattle, everything comes in from dry goods. Anything dry goods that can come into the lodge, like potato chips and oatmeal and anything that's not refrigerated, we usually get it here actually before we head up to Alaska. Then it gets shipped on the Alaska container ships all the way up to Bristol Bay.
Bristol Bay, and then from Bristol Bay, how do they get it to the lodge?
Well, we have two. We have two ways of getting it there. Well, most of it gets flown in. We take the Otter and we use it as a truck and go back and forth.
Wow, from King Salmon.
From King Salmon.
Wow,
right.
Because it's so far. It's so far out there, and there's no road. You can't put anything on a truck and drive there.
30 miles. You got to go 30 miles from the nearest road, and it's not really a road. It's just a back and forth 3-mile road from King Salmon to Naknek, where the port is.
Wow, and then there has been occasion when you're actually barging stuff up the river, right?
Well, okay, yeah, that's another option that you can do, but depending on water and the height of this year, we're going to have a great water because the rains that we've had, a lot of snow in Alaska this year.
Is there really?
Lots of snow. There's like 3 feet at the lodge right now, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
It's usually only about a foot. So the water level will be up, which then we do have the option to barge it. So that will be a decision made, in May.
Wait a second. You barge water up?
No, we barge
because there's so much water.
Because there's water. I was going to say there's plenty of water right out front. You don't need
No. It's there's a few low spots, and obviously when the boats get full, they'll hit. The props will hit. So basically, the higher the water is at the beginning of the season, the easier it is. To get up and down.
Get all that fuel and supplies and stuff like that. So tell us, for those of our listeners that aren't familiar with Katmai Lodge, give a description of Katmai in your eyes. You've been there for how many years?
Oh, at least 25 years.
Yeah.
And what it is we're a remote lodge, which most people don't realize how big Alaska is. It's like split in half. So if you, for anglers that want to go catch halibut and everything, they stay down there. In the Cook Inlet down south, Kenai area. And so what we'll do is our part of Alaska is remote, where we're on the river system. So you actually we're inland, so you're not on the ocean. It's all river-based fishing, trout fishing, great trout fishing, and the salmon run comes right by the lodge.
And all 5 species of Pacific salmon.
All 5 species of salmon come up.
In numbers that would just
millions
blow your mind, like unfathomable amount of fish.
This year was one of the biggest runs that they had. We had over 70 million fish came out of Bristol. Million.
Just in
Bristol Bay area.
In the Bristol Bay area.
Yeah, in the Bristol Bay.
Yeah, that's just one area of Alaska.
Correct, right. And out of that 70 million, we usually get about 4 million that go by our lodge. Just in sockeye alone.
Just in sockeye. That doesn't include kings, silvers, and pinks.
That's correct, right.
Yeah.
Those are all added on to that.
Yeah.
They don't even count those, but the fishing games out there every year, early in the season, counting them. And then usually it's 5 a day is the limit, and then after about 3 weeks, 2 weeks go by, they bump it up to 10 a day.
Yeah.
So the entire population of San Diego is like 1.3 million.
Yeah.
There's 70 million fish that go in front of the lodge last year. It's just
actually in the bay, 4 million goes by the lodge. Because there's four tributaries that go.
Fine, 4 million go by.
4 million. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
It's just unbelievable.
Well, you guys seen it. You guys have both been up there and seen the runs that we have, and it's pretty good.
You see, you can, when you're wading the rivers, that was probably my favorite part, was fishing sockeye. Like, you can literally see the waves coming. Your guides are fantastic.
We call it the V. You see the V in the water.
They really, being a complete novice, which I was when I went up there, I mean, they teach you what you're looking for and what to see. Okay, see that, here it comes. And I mean, you see waves of fish marching up the river. Okay, make your cast here. Okay, get your fish there, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
incredible.
It's sockeye fishing. It's all sight fishing. It's like you're
so
casting to big. I mean, these are big fish. 8, 10 pound average.
The water's so clear that you see them. So there's no reason to cast if you don't see them.
Yeah.
When you're sockeye fishing, because you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, and then of course you have the wildlife around.
Oh, of course,
the eagles and the beaver and the
moose and the bears.
Moose and bears, and I mean, gosh, it's like. What's your favorite part of Katmai, from a lady's perspective, Charmel?
I would have to say the comfort of being in remote Alaska, being able to come back to a warm bed and a shower.
Yeah.
Hot shower, nice linens.
Have all the amenities of the Hilton back here in California.
Exactly.
But being able to step outside and be nowhere near
anything.
the amount of
anything.
people. Yes, anything, exactly.
One of the fun things that we always do is when we're sitting in the lodge after fishing, everybody gathers in the lodge and they have these incredible appetizers prepared before dinner. And it's like, and then Harold Davis will walk us, hey, there's a moose right there. And so everybody charges out and looks at the moose. And then last year, remember, the bear came right up to the front door.
The bear came to the front door and looked in the window.
And we're sitting in the lodge having appetizers. We're like, oh, look, there's a bear right there. And these are brown bears, Alaskan brown bears.
Brown bears. Big. Very big.
Very big, yeah. But has there ever been an incident with bears, though? Because people go, I don't want to go where there's bears.
Yeah, that time of year, there's so many fish in the water that the bears don't care about the people.
Yeah.
You have said that for so long, and no offense, I didn't believe you at all. Like I just can't. You can't go there.
Most people don't.
And you have to see it. And you were right, man. Like they just don't care that you're there. The abundance of fish is so high. We got to sit on the river. We were on anchor. We were fishing chum salmon one day. Really good fishing, and you could tell why. There was a bear that was on the shoreline, 20 feet from us, 30 feet, and we got to watch him stand up on a perch, jump into a pool, grab a fish, take it out of the pool, eat the guts out of it, get right back on the perch and do it again. Did it 9 times in a row. For like a half hour we were watching this happen. They're 20 feet from you. Could not care less that you exist. They're just there for one thing.
Yeah.
And it's eating those fish.
And if they walk by you just have to respect give them a little distance.
Absolutely.
You don't want to go up there and hug them.
You don't want to challenge it.
You don't want to do that. You want to respect them all the time. Just give them their space and they'll leave you alone.
But it's true. I mean, they're not there for you. They're there for a reason.
Mom never taught them how to eat you.
Yeah.
She taught them how to eat the fish.
Yeah. So what makes Katmai unique from there's so many lodges in
There's
Alaska.
so many lodges. What I think what makes us is, one, we're in the Katmai National Park in the preserve. So that's one thing that makes it, it's a huge preserve up there and a huge national park. The bears, obviously, and the remoteness. There's no people. I mean, you're 30 miles away from the nearest town, and there's nobody. You're fishing on a side of a bank or out of the boat, and there's nothing driving by other than you and nature.
Yeah.
Walking. And we do have a lot of that, because the least amount of people, the harder it is to get somewhere. Usually, it's the better fishing, hunting, anywhere you deal with. As an outdoorsman knows that if it's hard to get to, it's probably pretty good fishing or pretty good hunting.
Yeah, no question. And it's amazing fishing. Yeah, and it's good for the non-fishermen too, because you actually have like my wife Lolly, she's not a big fisherman, but she loves Katmai, and because it's so unique and it's so different.
Well, we've been starting that non-fisherman package that we have, and that's really, really turning out good with the shows that we have or going to, because there's a lot of anglers that want to go fishing and they want to bring their wives.
Yeah,
and we can show them that we have great facilities, flushing toilets, hot showers, and a good meal in the evening, and that really sparks them up.
Yeah,
as well as a wildlife package, because being in the national park, we're able to fly out to Brooks Falls, which a lot of people are trying to get into. They want to get out there. It's on the bucket list. See the bears jumping from the falls, and they actually have like a 2-year waiting list.
2-year waiting list.
Yeah, 2-year waiting list. I think somewhere around there. And
to stay at
lottery system
at the park. It's
at
about a 2-year
Wow.
waiting list.
Last I heard.
Right.
So,
and you're like what, a 30-minute flight from there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Being within the park, we can just fly in with the otter and
you get to go
land
anytime. There is no restriction for you.
So
Wow.
a lot of people want to come out and see the bears, and we now offer a wildlife package that allows people to do that without waiting 2 years.
This is the place where, if ever you see a picture in National Geographic where the bears are eating salmon on the falls, that's where
it's on every opener for every show that you see on National Geographic. Every time you'll see
it's
those
on our
bears
website.
standing.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's on. That is the iconic photograph of National Geographic. Is the bear standing on that rock, and as the salmon are jumping up the falls, he grabs one.
Yeah,
that's it. That's where we're at.
That's the spot.
It's kind of a perfect combination. You get a day out at Brooks Falls. You can also get a day of fishing, get your feet wet a little bit, and keep the wife happy. And
that's cool.
And then the next day you can go out fishing, with your buddies, and the wives can sit there and have wine and then read a book and enjoy the midnight sun that doesn't get dark till midnight.
That's the thing, is most places in that level of remoteness, you're staying in a wall tent. Hopefully you have have a wood stove, and that's it. I mean, this is every accommodation you'd ever want to stay at in a nice hotel. It's linens and showers and food, and
minus the cable TV. We don't want you watching.
We don't want that anyway. But there is Wi-Fi.
Yes,
there is Wi-Fi.
and we're excited about the Starlink. You know?
Much faster, right?
Well, we'll see.
I'll see if it works up there, right?
Yeah,
you got the Starlink.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing some great. Responses from other lodges that have installed it, and we've purchased it, and we got it. It's in the box, but I haven't fired it up yet.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
But it's they're saying there's going to be 200 megs down, down feed, and we're used to 3 megs.
3 megs, a little bit faster.
So that should be a lot faster.
A little bit faster, right.
It's almost not a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool that it is. Obviously,
Unfortunately, all people are. It's just like junkies. They all like their iPhones. They want to be connected.
Yeah. One year we brought up a group of pretty much all non-fishing people. It was a couple's trip. And I had several of those people in that group at the end of the trip saying, this is the best vacation I've ever been in my life. And that's what Katmai is. It truly is the potential to have the best vacation you've ever had in your life, because you've never experienced anything like it.
No,
that's the thing.
And you can't help but experience it. You're immersed in it.
And it's hard to explain to people, especially like at the shows and stuff. Until you see it, you see the falls and the bears and all that, you can't believe that. Wow, this is here.
Yeah, it is.
The other thing that's crazy to me too is like how different all the different types of fishing are. We fished for several days, and we did different things every day. We fly fished for sockeyes, we spin fished for chums, we trolled for kings, we went way up the braids and we fished for trout and grayling, and every single day, having never been there before, every single day we wanted to try something different, and we never did the same thing twice, and every one of those experiences were hugely different from the other.
Right. And it's different type of fishing. I mean, obviously, trout fishing a little harder to do than sockeye fishing. So if you're, once you get bored catching sockeye, you say, let's tighten, let's tough it up a little bit. Let's go get some trout.
You're describing our trip. That was exactly
because it was so easy to get the chums and the sockeye. Well, trout are a little bit tougher to get. You got to be, you got to be able to throw that fly where you need to be.
But then the photo means that much more. Like, you can see the excitement when you're holding that thing. Like, dude, I did it. Check that thing off the list, Right.
And then the time of the year when our trip is, when you are going, Ricky, in July with our group, king salmon fishing. It's amazing. It can be amazing.
Sure.
And you catch big kings, like 30-pounders, 30-pounders.
Yep, that's what we're getting, the averages right now. And our area is still open. There's a lot of the areas down in the Kenai Peninsula that the fishing game is shutting them down because they were so overfished. And the pressure is so much down there because there's so many people wanting to come up to Alaska and catch that big king that it is hurting the ecosystem. And the fishing game is right on it right now.
Yeah. There's nothing like... I mean, trolling is a common way to catch the kings, but there's nothing like making the cast with that light spinning rod and catching one.
A king on the fly.
On the fly, or just the spin outfit. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, that's just like the ultimate challenge there, because you hook these things on a light spin tackle, and you guys have, that's the other thing, you guys have all the gear, spin tackle, fly fishing, waders, boots, the whole thing. All you have to do is bring layers and you're good.
That's correct.
And everything at the highest level. I mean, I've worked in a tackle store since I was in high school, and it is, that's, call it a gear snob, whatever you want. I mean, it is the gear that they provide is at the highest level.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be waders and boots or Loomis rods and Shimano reels.
I just got 20 came in yesterday at the UPS dropped off at my house, 20 fly rods, because we break them, anglers break them all the time, and it's just part of the business, and, you send them back, and then, they always add a little bit extra you got to pay, but then you get a brand new one, the latest and greatest.
Yeah, that's so cool. Is nice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and what kind of fly rods you use?
They are the Loomis rods.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Shimano spin gear.
Yeah. Very.
I'm telling you, from a guy that really prides himself on tackle, I was very impressed. It's so good.
The 8 weights. The IMX 8-weight Loomis works great
like your
for
bread
us.
and butter.
Pretty much all of them are that.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing I might add too is that you and your buddy Rob sitting here with us in the world headquarters are hardcore saltwater anglers.
Oh, absolutely.
So what the heck are you doing owning a lodge up in Alaska, huh? What the heck's that all about?
It's called wakes and rough seas. Yeah. But the older you get, the more you want to stay on a flat water.
But I'll tell you what, the point is that if if you say, oh, well, I'm not a freshwater angler, I'm a saltwater guy.
No,
I'm
exactly.
telling you, both Ricky and I are hardcore saltwater guys, and I know Rob is too, and you, and it's like this got something for everybody.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's just got, and you're in the nature of it. You don't have that nature part of the experience when you go out in the ocean.
Yeah.
At least I don't think. When you're standing there, like Rick says, you're out there and you're fly casting, and all of a sudden a bear walks up, and you're casting, and he's jumping in the water, and there's a beaver floating down the river. That's what you're seeing. At the same time.
Down a little ways.
On the boat ride up, there's a moose in a meadow, eating the grass or the lily pads, whatever they eat. It's just something to see.
The other thing that
it's different. It's something different.
Very different.
That is a cool experience was the run when we ran up the river. We ran on one of the jet drive boats, and just the operating a boat in that depth of water is something that being on the ocean, you cannot put that through your mind either. Like, you see it coming, and it's a ripple, and it's a ripple because there was inches of water. And at one point we're running in a pretty deep pool part of the river, and then you see
6 inches is not uncommon. 6 inches to
That's about all you need, right? Once the boat gets up on a plane,
right?
Yeah,
and we did that. It was
these are not small boats either,
crazy.
Too, right?
And you could actually feel the boat lifting a little bit as you're getting that compression of water going underneath the bottom. It actually lifts the boat a little bit, so you can feel that lift. And whatever you do, you don't want to get out of the throttle. You actually go faster when you get in there to make it past the little sandbar that you hit.
Looking over the side of the boat and realizing that the water's about as deep as a coffee cup was something that was just very foreign feeling and really cool.
It's all pebbles.
Yeah, exactly what it was.
Yeah. As you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you. There's so much. We haven't even talked about the Otter, the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob, the pilot, and the lodge itself, and all the stuff that Charmel
does. The level of
does
service, Charmel. It's going to be a great show. So much to cover and so much fun stuff. If you want to join us this morning, we would love to hear from you. Give us a call and Let's Talk Hookup this morning at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. Phones are already packing up. Also, the Text the Show, we talk about it a bunch. Text the Show, so popular part of Let's Talk Hookup now. If you want to text in your questions for Bob, for our Charmel, you want to know about Alaska, the best spot out there, give us a text this morning. The only way you can do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download if you don't have it already. In addition to texting the show, it's a great way to listen to all the archive shows, keep up with Let's Talk Hookup through the Let's Talk Hookup app, and when you text your questions through today, make sure that you include your contact info, because if you win the big prize at the end of the show today, we need to be able to get a hold of you. And man, are we giving away a cool trip for one lucky caller at the end of today's show. Somebody's going to get to go fishing on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. Total trip your way. Those guys are going to be getting into some great springtime fishing here right around the corner, and somebody's going to get to go fishing. We're giving away a full day trip on board the Liberty. Again, whether that be a caller or a texter, and the way we'll pick the winner at the end of the show, we'll get a potential winner from the caller side, a potential from the texter side. Charmel's going to flip a coin, and that's going to designate who's got that full day trip on board the Liberty. Again, if you want to give us a call, 213-432-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking those phone calls, reading those texts. You got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. It's Southern California's sport fishing voice on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Hayden Lane here from Fast Lane Kayaking, and I gotta tell you about all the rad new stuff we have in the shop. Like the fully updated new line of Hobie inflatable kayaks, the iTrek series. Hobie took the best-selling i11S and made it even better. Then added new models like it, like the new iTrek 9 that weighs just 37 pounds, fully rigged, packs into a small bag with wheels, and fits just about anywhere. And on the water, this thing performs, featuring a super wide and flat hull shape that is stable and an elevated beach chair style seat that is comfortable. Or the all-new Hobie Mirage Lynx. Inspired by the shape of the inflatable kayaks, Hobie made a durable and ultralight hardtop model. It's the missing link. It looks like a hybrid of a stand-up paddleboard and a kayak. And the best part, at just 45 pounds, the hull weighs about half as much as similar-sized kayaks. And it's stackable. Pile them up on your roof rack or your truck bed. You gotta see this thing. Stop by the shop, right on the water in Dana Landing Marina in Mission Bay. Or check us out online at fastlanekayaking.com.
There are plenty of boat slips and marinas in San Diego, but there's only one Kona Kai. It's not just a place to park your boat. It's a way of life here in America's finest city. The Kona Kai Resort Spa and Marina has multiple swimming pools and a private beach, waterfront restaurants, and award-winning spa, most of which is included for marina tenants. Check resortkonakai.com for more information. The Kona Kai Resort, much more than just a place to park your boat. For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered. The all-new, bigger, and better 13th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show is March 2nd to the 5th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Tackle, fishing resorts, fishing boats, and amazing seminars. March 2nd to the 5th at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here already this morning. Again, if you want to join us, be a part of the show, 213-432-1090, or send us a text through the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Texts are packing up. You had a great text that just came through, right? From a former person that was at Katmai?
I thought so. It just reminded me so much of everybody that's been there. But yeah, it was a great text from Bruce in Lemon Grove. Bruce had the drill. He slid in well before the show even started. It just says, Katmai Lodge is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and I can't wait to go back. And that was from Bruce in Lemon Grove.
Pretty much sizes it up,
set it
right?
up perfect. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. For fishermen, non-fishermen, the whole thing, but mostly for fishermen, I think.
I don't think you can not be a fisherman when you go up there. Even if you...
It's like the temptation is just too strong, right?
Yeah.
Do you have, Charmel, people that come up for the Echo Lodge and then they see this great fishing and they go, okay, I got to try it?
Yes, we do.
You do? It's like they never thought they'd be a fisher person and then they jump into it and they go,
because our guides
wow.
are great.
They are.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like conventional tackle or fly tackle, right? It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have a lot of people too, Pete, is they'll come out for the eco trip and then fish for one day and then go, can we add another trip fishing? Extra.
It's like that was fun, right? Yeah. Harold Davis is on the line. Good morning, Harold. Pick us up, Harold.
Today?
Hey, good morning, Harold.
Hey, Harold. Hey, Harold. How you doing?
Hi, Harold. So you're a Katmai veteran. Yeah.
Yes, sir. One of the best spots you could ever want to go. The comment that the guy texted in probably just covers it the best. And I have seen the eco people come up there. There were some gals that came up and the guides took them up and down the river to see and bear and otter, all of that neat stuff. But being a fisherman, imagine any place that is more fun. And we get to go a lot of different places. But it is so different and so much fun. It is the most exciting trip that I think I take every year, and I just really look forward to it.
He starts calling me like in November, going, I can't wait, just like 6 months away from Katmai. It's like, yeah. Harold, you're a saltwater guy. Obviously, you build Davis boats, saltwater boats, and stuff like that. What is the attraction for a saltwater guy at Katmai Lodge?
Well, if you like to catch salmon, the salmon fighting in the ocean is nothing like the salmon fighting in the river. They use that naturally big, wide tail in that fast current, and you get to use lighter line, and it's just a hoot. It's I don't know why it's so much different and so much more fun, except you get to use the lighter tackle, and you're catching equally as big fish. When you start catching 25 and 30-pound salmon on a fly rod, for crying out loud, and then they take off down the river, and that river is screaming along sometimes probably 15 miles an hour conservatively, they can take off some line really super quick. Even the smaller fish, the sockeye, there's two real fish that I go for after being there for years. I love to go for the sockeye because they're just absolute great eating, and I love to go for the chums because they are just yellowtail in a salmon body.
They pull
and they
so hard.
Oh.
And they hit like a freight train, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've made the mistake not being a fly fisherman, and really if you can get that fly out there 20, 30 feet, you're going to get bit. And I had a bunch of line laying there, and the line took off, and it wrapped around the end of the fly rod. And when that fly line broke, it made 130-pound spectra sound like a pencil breaking. It's just, boy, it goes snap. It's really something. They have got power. But to see all the bears, the ability is outstanding. You just can't say enough about it until you go there. It's really hard to make people that. My next-door neighbor was not going at all and can't wait to get back. And he's just an ocean guy. He says so far out of his wheelhouse, he didn't know what to expect. But after you start catching fish, you're catching fish.
That's everybody's story.
Same story.
And then your chances are so good because when you see the ripples going down the stream and then you see ripples coming up the stream, you go, why are those ripples coming at me? Because you just now have 200 or 300 fish going past you. And you
make a cast.
You make a cast, and away you go. And you can take, what did we have, Pete? We had 6 of us lined up on that one sandbank.
Yeah.
And just catching sockeye after sockeye after sockeye, one right after another. It looked like we were in the rack of a tuna boat.
And everybody's laughing and yelling, and it's so much fun.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
then you go home to... Go ahead.
I was just saying, your opportunities are so abundant too. That's the other thing. If you're, if it's newer to you, or you're bringing a guest or somebody else, if you missed your first half a dozen bites in a row, it's no big deal because the next half a dozen are coming on the next 6 casts. You get all the opportunities, and like Bob, like you were saying, is you can choose whatever level of difficulty you want to participate at. That could be lining up the one chance perfect single cast at a 28-inch rainbow, or it could be casting
a king on the fly.
Yeah.
You're casting into deep water, and you don't really see anything. You're just casting because you feel that hole is going to hold a big king.
Yeah,
and you can do that.
Or you can sight cast to thousands of sockeye at a time, and everything in between there.
Or fly at a chum, or throw a spinner at a chum.
Yep.
There's
change it up.
Change it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then as you move into August, then you've got amazing silver salmon where you hook them and they jump. And,
yes,
and those are great on the spinner.
You definitely know when you hook up a silver.
Yeah. And then we haven't even talked about the flyouts.
Oh well, that's a whole
God,
that's a whole nother.
Yeah, I mean, Bob is actually the pilot of the Otter, which is it's a big float plane, right?
Correct. It's 11 passengers, 11 total. 10 passengers plus the pilot. Obviously, me is 11, and we can take you to a remote lake or a remote river that we land on a little pothole, and then we walk across the plains, and you fish these. After all the salmon have gone past the lodge, they head up to the tributaries, and they head up into those tributaries, and we take you to those tributaries.
And this is like 70 miles from the ocean, right?
Yeah, 70 miles. Actually, more than that.
More than that.
Yeah, and so what you'll do is we'll land there, and we walk across the tundra, which is kind of like walking across mattresses, which is kind of different for most people. And you're in open plains, but you basically walk to the streams where the sockeye will actually start to turn color as soon as they come into the fresh water. The hormones start changing, and this bright, beautiful silver fish that looks like a tuna turns into this red, hooked nose, jaw coming up with teeth, and they're ready to spawn. Well, you don't want to eat them then.
No.
But what happens is the trout follow the sockeye. And then what they're doing is they're laying their eggs, and as the eggs are falling into the gravel, some of them escape, and so these big trout are just right behind them, and you're fishing with a bead and a hook, which looks like this little red bead on your line, and you come all the way up to Alaska, thousands of miles and all that, and you're fishing with this bead.
The plastic bead.
And you're sight fishing to these 28, 30-inch trout.
You're casting in front of the salmon, and it kind of flows back behind them, and there's these big trout sitting there and just ready to hook them up.
70 miles or more from the ocean, and you're fishing a trout that's the size of a legal white sea bass.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a bear 50 feet away
doing the same thing.
A lot of times when you hold them up to take your picture, you'll have eggs just bellowing out of their throats.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole aspect of Katmai is just. You like flying that float plane, Carol?
I love it. Matter of fact, I was surprised. Was it last year we had to land in King Salmon because they couldn't get the big plane to land on the dirt runway, and then Bob brought us in on the Otter, and I was John with everybody, and the next thing I know, we're there and we're on the ground, and that thing is so neat when it lands, and Bob just did an expert job of putting that thing down. Wow, it's really a cool plane.
Where did you learn to be a pilot, Bob?
Actually, I started back in San Diego here, and I learned up in Orange County, but I flew the air tankers, putting the fires out over in Ramona.
Wow.
Up in there at the air attack base there, and so I worked up there for 7 years.
And then you worked as an airline pilot?
Yeah, then I worked the airlines, and then
for a number of years.
And then I came, then I went fishing. I love fishing.
It's like, wait a minute here.
Yeah, it was a good thing. Good retirement job.
Oh yeah, right. It's a great retirement job. I mean, that's where people go to vacation, and you get to be there all the time during the summer.
Right.
Yeah. Hey Harold, thanks for joining us. And I call Harold the Pipe Piper because he all he has to do is just talk about Katmai, and people go, okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you in Bakersfield, Harold?
I'm going in for surgery.
Oh.
And to get my knee fixed. When we were elk hunting, Mike Lum shot an elk at the bottom of the canyon, and I couldn't resist. And by the time I got there, my knee was out.
Okay.
So I got to get surgery, and I might be there, and I might not.
Okay.
We'll see you up at the lodge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you guys will be at the Bakersfield sports show, right?
Correct.
When is that show?
I believe that one's in March.
Yeah. All right.
It's such a long schedule. We're just starting, and I got 6. So didn't want it. Did the Denver show was
March
really
10th through the 12th.
10 through 12.
Right.
And we'll also be at PCS the weekend before.
You'll be at the PCS show, which is the March 3rd through the 7th.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There's some show specials. So
we head to Harrisburg Friday. This next Friday.
This next Friday?
Yeah, we head to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So we start our
You're on the show circuit.
Exactly.
Yeah. What kind of show specials are you offering?
I think it's about 15%.
Wow.
Oh, wow, no kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to show up in person, though. We need to see your smiling face at the booth.
Yeah, and talk nice to Charmel. Yeah. Hey, Harold, great. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Okay, can't wait to get there.
Yeah, me too.
See you, Harold.
Thank you, Harold. All right, with that said, we're going to find out what's biting in the Baja right now. It's time for the Catch Report with the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Castors. And hey, it's not just hooks that make anglers wild about Gamakatsu. The finest split rings and solid rings are also made by Gamakatsu. Also, if you're looking for quality swivels, they've got you covered there. As well. And when it comes to assist hooks, Gamakatsu makes the best with a wide variety of assortment of sizes and styles. See your local Gamakatsu dealer or check out gamakatsu.com. And let's talk to the cast man, Richard Castaneda. Buenos dias, Cass.
Hey, buenos dias, Ricky. Hey, you guys were talking about those sockeye. What a transformation those fish go through. I mean, from what they start looking like into what they wind up looking like, it's just incredible. They get that big hunchback, those gnarly teeth. They turn colors from red to red and avocado and black. I mean, it's just an amazing transformation. I don't think any of the other salmon do that, but I'm telling you, the ones I've caught up there, like I said, it's just amazing what they look like from start to finish.
And it's in 60 days. I mean, they come into the water. They're only in there a month and a half, 2 months, and they turn from...
You wouldn't know it was the same fish.
You don't know it was the same fish.
That's
so
great.
You didn't know that. You look at the pictures, and I go, this is the same fish as this one, and you go, wow, what the hell happened?
What?
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Anyway, that sockeye is my favorite of all the salmon to eat. They're just so tasty. And they're more abundant, too, and that's what's good about it. So you get to bring home plenty of sockeye with you. But as far as fishing goes, Pete, we got a fresh report in from Ixtapas-Zihuatanejo down there. Captain Temo reporting that sailfish are in now, not in big numbers, but as we get into the late winter, spring, they start coming in more numbers, and they're pretty close to the harbor. They're nailing them between 2 to 3 miles off the beach. Also, the roosters, anywhere from south of Ixtapas-Zihuatanejo up to your favorite spot there at Trancones. Plenty of roosters right now. Nothing really big, 15 or 20 pounders, but you'll see some bigger ones as we get into the late winter, spring. There, a few Dorado also being caught. Plenty of Sierras, lots of Sierras right now. So it's fishing there. The water temperature, the daytime temperatures are running low 80s. Just beautiful winter destination to get down and get some sunshine and stay warm. Got a report in from Danny Talamontes, our charter master there at Loretos. Yellowtail continue to be the main fish down there, but you got to play those north winds, especially with these storms coming down. That north wind is really starting to howl down there. So normally they try to get out early and get back in before those winds really kick up, because it does get a little bit hairy out there if you stay out too long. So got to mind those winds and head on back. Also, La Playita Bob Phillips there sent me an email. They had a local Dorado tournament there this past weekend. I think it was on Sunday, and the winner was a 52-pound wahoo. Yeah, they really and not many wahoo right now. So that was kind of like I said, kind of an odd catch. But they like I said, there's still a few wahoo. Dorado still in okay numbers, but things are really starting to change. Starting to cool off quite a bit now with these north winds blowing down there. He was even indicating he had to put on long pants, socks, and shoes, and from his normal Baja shorts and and tank top. But there's still some tuna around, and of course striped marlin are now coming down from Mag Bay, making the turn, and anywhere in that southern part of the tip there, getting some nice striped marlin. Now that'll continue to get better as we get into the late winter and the early spring. But that's a report. Anybody wants to book a trip into southern Baja, mainland Mexico, Central America, South America, give us a call at Cast Tours, 800-593-6510, or check us out on the web at www.casttours.com. And I won't talk to you guys next Saturday because I'm heading to Lake El Salto on Thursday, fish those largemouth bass, and of course
with Corey.
Yeah, with the Corey man, and if we very seldom can we get good cell service out of there. So if I can, for some reason, I'll call. If not, we'll talk about it the following week, and I'm sure Corey will have some input on that too. But
it's going to be fun.
You guys take care. Have a good weekend,
man.
All right, man.
Thanks for the call.
Talk to you soon.
All right,
go get him, Cass. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. A lot more with Bob Charmel and a whole lot more at Katmai. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
One of the dream trips for most anglers is Alaska. There are so many lodges. How do you make a choice? It's easy. Choose the one most Let's Talk Hookup listeners return to time after time. Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, and the finest charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. One visit and you will understand why nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. Sitka is famous for some of the best runs of salmon in Alaska. And if giant Alaskan halibut is your target, the expert captains at Kingfisher Charters know the hot spots and can put you on a fish of a lifetime. Plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod are there too. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. It's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except tips. It is truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Hey, it's time to talk about great equipment from Shimano. We're talking about Katmai being equipped with Shimano spinning reels, G-Limus rods. Let's talk about the array of spinning reels that you can get from Shimano.
That's what's so cool, exactly, about the Shimano product. I mean, from very, very budget-friendly spinning reels all the way up to Stella, and everything in between. There's so many levels of service that they have. We talk with Gundy all the time about surf fishing and that Sedona series. Inexpensive, under $100, still very smooth. Climbing up to to a high-end reel like a Stratic, which is very common at Katmai. Stratic is like the epitome of a smooth, killer, functioning reel. A little more pricey, but still well within all the anglers' budget.
Super smooth, though.
Yeah, crazy. Going to the saltwater side, stepping up again to Saragossa, a reel that's strong enough to take a big tuna, but still affordable. Twin Power is like you're hitting the highest end of reel, amazing drag pressure, able to take a big bluefin on a popper, and then the flagship, the Stella. What more can you say? It's the most technologically advanced spinning reel, and I mean those guys just do it all at every level, and no matter where your budget allows you to be, Shimano makes a killer spinning reel for you.
From sockeye to big bluefin tuna, Shimano at your local Shimano dealer.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hard-working crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey anglers, AFCO Pro Captain Ben Florentino of Coastal Charters here. As a full-time guide, I'm on the water all year long. It's my livelihood. Having the right clothing is of the utmost importance to staying warm, dry, cool, and comfortable to endure whatever the Pacific wants to throw at me. Thankfully, I'm equipped with AFCO clothing to keep me dialed season after season. Do yourself a favor and check out AFCO's award-winning gear at a dealer near you, or learn more at AFCO.com.
Hi, I'm Pat McDonald here to tell you that the Hall Shows are back. Bard Hall Shows February 16th through the 19th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds and March 29th through April 2nd at the Long Beach Convention Center. Share the passion of outdoor recreation as we celebrate 75 years of Hall Shows family fun.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones are packed. Same with the text, man. Everybody's excited to talk to Bob and Charmel.
Let's jump into those jam-packed phones, Rick.
You got it, man. We're going to start it this morning with John, who's called us from Escondido. What's up, John? Thanks for getting us started here on the phones.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. And to you, Ricky, your son just had his first birthday, so congratulations to you guys, to many, many more.
Thanks,
hey, so my question,
very good, yeah.
When's his birthday? When's Wyatt's birthday?
His birthday party is today, and then his birthday is in a couple of days on the 25th.
On the 25th.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Wyatt.
Thanks,
First
guys.
birthday.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome, buddy. Hey, so how much fish, since you're flying in and flying out, are you allowed to bring back? And if you're not a fly fisherman, but you'd like to experience it, is it better to get some lessons before you go up there, or do you have some guys that can show you how to use the fly rod?
Well, actually, the first part of the question, we allow 50 pounds of fillet. So what we'll do is we'll box it in the wax box, band it for you, and that's 50 pounds per angler out.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. About 26 or so sockeyes that you'll catch to make up a 50-pound box. And then as of the second question with the fly fishing, just come on up. We'll teach you. I mean, we got open areas where you're not going to get tangled on your backswing. And our guides are very helpful, and we got the gear the good gear to show you how to do it. And we'll make you into in a day and a half. You'll be swinging with the big boys.
Yeah, you can have never touched a fly rod before. Within a day, you're catching a lot of fish.
Right, and I recommend that you come out, try it a little bit, then go back to your go-to rod, your spin gear, and then come back into it.
Sure.
So you're not just completely frustrated and line coming around you, and we'll put you in a spot where there's no wind, there's in a bank, so because obviously the better you get, if there's any kind of wind, that separates the men from the boys on fly fishing.
And sockeye fishing, you don't have to cast very far.
No, not very far at all.
Yeah.
And that gets you you into the swing of the whole 10-2 position back and forth.
John, I can say, I know John as a great customer of the long range fleet and a guy that likes to fish so much, but also every time there's inshore fishing, calico fishing, things like that, a guy of your personality will absolutely love this place. It's so much active cast, retrieve, bite. You're feeling every bite. It's a spectacular thing, and I know that John is the same way that I was. I was virtually a fly rod, total novice, and the guides are spectacular. Dallas the same way. Like we neither of us knew. We were no fly experts, and on day one we were proficiently fishing the fly rod, and there's something
and having fun with it
a ton. And I went up with the notion of, well, sure, I want to catch a fish on a fly rod to say that I did, but I'm going to be a spinning rod guy because that's what I'm familiar with. But by day two, we hardly spin fished at all because the fly fishing is so much fun. Like you're just catching them on gear that they do more on, and the bite is really cool. And it's more effective. It's really effective, and it's just part of the scene that you're in. Like I didn't think that I was going to fall in love with the fly fishing as much as I did. It was really cool. And then the last thing I'll say, because I know John. You gotta go up with Cindy. You gotta go up with your wife too. Like she will it's a spectacular trip to share that with. It's really, really cool.
No question about it. Hey, John, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Got a follow-up question from a text here from Jeff in Huntington Beach, and he wants to know about the processing and if he can get some smoked fish too.
Well, actually, on a smoked fish, we Fish and Game kind of put a damper on our smoked fishing. We used to give it all the time. And what happened was they came out, and the process with smoke fishing is you have to be there a full week before we can give you some smoked fish or your fish. But if you're only there on the 4-day package, we don't have enough time to process in 4 days. Okay. And what we used to do is give it, your fish to the next guy, and then he would take your fish. Well, they don't like that. You have to take your fish. You have to catch your fish and smoke your fish. You can't.
But if you're there for a week,
you could take some. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're there for the first day, most of our group goes for a week because 4 days is not enough.
We can if you want smoked fish, we can usually whip some out for you for the smoked fish.
Yeah. The other thing too that Evan, who went with us last year, did is he took his fish back to Anchorage.
Correct.
And then there's a smoker there that'll ship it back to you.
That's what I was just going to get to you. There's the next way is you bring it into Anchorage and leave your smoked fish at the processor. They'll smoke it for you and send it down.
But your smoked sockeye at the lodge, that outdoor smoker that you have,
dude,
it's to die for.
Yeah,
I've never had smoked salmon like that.
It cooks a lot. We'll put easily 100 fish in there, and it'll do the job.
Yeah.
And it's usually about a 2-day smoke is what it is. So that's why it takes so long to smoke it. Yeah. In the past we used to give it away, and now it's kind of like, well, I don't want to get my hand slapped again.
I gotcha. Yeah, loud and clear. Gotcha. Well, I wanted to read a text. I thought this was a great one for Charmel, and a really good question. This is from Mike in Santa Cruz. My father and I are looking to plan a trip up to Alaska next year, celebrating my 50th and his 80th birthday. None of us have ever been to any of the types of lodges, and we're looking forward to going to the sportsman shows. And I was wondering, what are the types of questions we should be asking the representatives? Obviously, he'll. I'm sure once he talks to you guys, that'll be a slam dunk. But a great question still. Like, what are the things? You guys experience so many of the shows. What are good questions that people should be asking when they're trying to book their dream trip up to Alaska?
I would say they should definitely ask about the accommodations. Make sure they know what they're getting themselves into. Some of these places you're in a bunk with 25 other fishermen.
Exactly.
You have to go to an outhouse that's half a mile down the camp. Definitely know what you're getting for your money. I would say
all the little items too. Basically
right.
all
electricity.
Your how long's the power stay on for? Does are you need a CPAP machine or something? We have a lot of our customers that come up just to our lodge because they have the CPAP machine and we keep our generators running 24/7.
Some camps are lights out.
See, I wouldn't even. I only know. I would have never thought.
Yeah,
that's a great call.
They shut it down at 8:00 at night, 10:00 at night,
and that's it.
And it's right. And then all is your fishing license included? Is the beer and wine included? Those are the questions.
The fish processing we just talked about. You can wrap up a ton of money in that.
Exactly. So those are the little things that start adding up at the end of the day.
That's a great point, too, because, no big trip up to Alaska is a cheap trip. And a trip to Katmai is not a short ticket. But don't be fooled by somebody else that's dangling this, way lesser expensive dollar amount in front of you, and then find out that once they got you, now you're stuck spending even more than you would for lesser accommodations because they tack on different transfer fees, fish processing. You want to fish with a guide, or you want to do this, it's this much more.
And every beer you drink.
Yeah, honestly. And Katmai, it's so turnkey. You have Charmel to answer your questions and help you with this. And, I'm not sure about flying. What do I do? This is what you guys do at the highest level.
I would definitely ask if it's a fly-out lodge or not. I think that's important. One thing that's good about Katmai is that we are not a fly-out lodge. Once you fly in, you're there. You don't have to leave. A lot of the lodges in Alaska fly out to rivers daily, and if the weather's bad, which it often is, or it's unpredictable, you're grounded.
You're stuck.
You're not going anywhere.
That's a great point, too.
You're at Katmai, you throw on your rain jacket, you're at the dock in 5 minutes, you're out on the boat, and you're fishing till the sun's out.
That's an extra, because you may choose to do a fly out, but you don't have to. And a lot of people are, you don't want to. You don't want your your big trip and Dad's big trip to be stuck waiting for a good weather window.
You mean the weather changes in Alaska?
Yeah. By the minute. And to be honest with you, a lot of these fly-out lodges are coming to our river anyways, so you might as well just come directly to the source.
Yeah, they just they literally land in the same place that you're fishing on the boats.
Correct. Most of the time you'll see other people there because they are from another lodge flying into our river.
And the other thing, too, a fly-out lodge is considerably more expensive than Katmai. Katmai is a bargain comparative. Alaska, number one, is not cheap.
It's not a cheap ticket.
It's not a cheap ticket. But Katmai is a bargain compared to other remote lodges that you have to fly into. In comparison, it's like a lot of times half the price.
And another thing is you want to look at too is, do they have their plane or do they charter their flyouts in? Because they'll say, for instance, you want to go to the falls or the brooks or a flyout on Wednesday, and here comes Wednesday, and it's foggy. They can't get in. Yeah. And that charter plane was booked to come in there, so your trip is canceled.
Yeah.
We say, well, it's going to be foggy tomorrow, Wednesday, but let's just go Thursday.
Yeah, let's catch a bunch of salmon today.
We'll go out on the boat today because we can go fishing in our river today instead of other lodges where you'll be sitting, waiting for the fog to lift. We don't have to do that.
Well, how many people can you put in the Otter?
10.
10. Wow. Versus a beaver, which is the smaller version of that javelin, is 6.
Yeah,
so
6.
You can carry a lot of people in that.
And speaking about flying, you want to know where you are flying from, where you need to fly into. We get you directly from Anchorage.
Right.
A lot of these smaller lodges that are remote, you need to fly into King Salmon. So that's an additional cost just to get you into the nearest town. We typically have a charter plane which flies directly to us. We have our own landing strip. So even though we do
landing strip literally steps away from the lodge, right at the lodge.
So that makes it a lot more convenient to where you can skip King Salmon because there's really
it's huge.
Nothing.
Yeah, so you can catch a direct flight out of LAX or right to Anchorage, and then the next flight Anchorage to the lodge would be a charter. So you're there in 2 flights.
Yeah.
Which is very convenient.
Very convenient for a remote Alaska lodge.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a great question. Micah, an excellent text, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun on your and Dad's big trip. Appreciate the text very much. When we come back, we got another full hour of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls and texts. We're going to check in with the catch report, find out what's biting, and a whole lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Rock Cod Rick here to tell you about Parker Boats and the guys at West Coast Marine. By now, you all know my boat partner and I bought a new 25 Parker center console from crew at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. We've known for a long time that a Parker was the boat for us. It's a stout workhorse of a boat built to last and get you home when the seas get rough. Parker Boats at the launch ramp, the offshore tuna grounds. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all sizes, fishing in the same areas as the sporties. There's a good reason for it: fishability and seaworthiness. West Coast Marine has several new Parkers in stock and ready for delivery. And they have more on the way. Don't get caught without a reliable boat when fishing is this good. Take it from me, if you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see West Coast Marine. Check out the inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we engineered the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, available with a ProPower onboard generator and a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for America. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Come in now for a huge selection of vehicles, like the 2022 Ford F-150 for 1.9% APR for 60 months, only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 1.9% APR financing for 60 months at $17.48 per month, per thousand financed, regardless of down payment. Residency restrictions apply. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 4/3/2023. See dealer for qualifications and complete details.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero is very family-oriented. People have brought their children down, and now they're bringing their children. It's not unusual to have 3 generations of family at the hotel. Grandpa, Dad, and normally sons, sometimes daughters. The families come back year after year, and it's a safe place for the kids. It's small, it's intimate, right on the water, 2 miles of beachfront. The water's very shallow in front. There's no currents to speak of, no waves. We have childcare, $10 a day for a babysitter. Security is high at Rancho Leonero. It's really unnecessary, but it adds up comfort level. And we really do encourage the families. It's a great place for family reunions, family get-togethers, weddings. We do it all. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. There's nowhere that I could think of to have the same atmosphere and the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. We love families.
Long-range fishing, nothing beats Shimano. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Come check out the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body when throwing jigs. The Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. With the extreme cranking power and Shimano's Super Free Spool provides extreme castability. You'll be able to put your jig in the Wahoo zone. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hi, I'm Wendy Tochihara from Izerline. Stop by our booth at the Bard Hall shows in Del Mar and Long Beach. Check out our new products, enter our knot tying contest, and ask questions of our Izerline fishing coaches at the Bard Hall shows. See you there.